if you're addicted to everything, or you feel like you're addicted to everything, whether that be social media, food, drugs, just anything, any sort of entertainment, then know that you're not a bad person for that, because that's just the way the world is moving at the moment. And you just need to take precautions and steps in order to fix that. I think it's really easy to fall into really, really, I guess, strange addictions. I was really addicted to fast food around last year, and even now my screen time on my phone is way too high. But the thing is that we can't just accept that this is who we are, and that you're a bad person for being addicted to these things, because then you don't get anywhere, and then that becomes a part of your personality. And in reality, that's just not who you are. That's just the environment that you're surrounding yourself with. So what I would say is don't expect too much from yourself, in the sense of trying to fix your life in a single day or a single week or a single month. When you develop these habits, it takes a while for you to fix them. And so what I would recommend is just slowly lowering your use of whatever it is over time, and replacing it with a positive habit, right? So let's just say you use your phone too much, or you eat fast food, and that's where you get your dopamine, right? I would say instead of 8 hours of screen time, try to do 6, and in those 2 hours, literally do anything. Try drawing, even if it's you scrolling on social media, watch a movie, right? Even though that might seem counterproductive, watching a movie, at least it's long form content, right? At least you're doing something. It's progressive in a certain way. Fast food, try to just find healthier options for foods. If instead of having a dessert, try to make your own recipe, try to find something online. I know they don't taste the best, but slowly over time, as you replace these things and as you fix your dopamine, you kind of change your baseline, right? Over time, it took me a while to get used to healthy food. And even with social media, like watching longer form content kind of became a lot more difficult for me, because my attention span was just so fried, and it still is fried to this day. It's something that I'm still trying to fix. But I think a lot of people are just kind of accepting that being addicted is this new norm, right? Everyone's just like, yeah, my screen time's 8 hours. That's just who I am. That's just the era we're living in, the kind of times we're living in. But I completely disagree with that. I think that just because you're surrounded by something, it doesn't mean you're forced. Of course, unless it's your job, right? Unless you work remotely. But in terms of just entertainment and being addicted to things, I think people write themselves off too much and think that they're lazy or they're a bad person. In reality, I think a lot of people who scroll on social media are actually really stressed. They scroll on social media as a form of escape. They have something they want to do, and whether that be a task, homework, an assignment, whatever it is, and they're putting it off because in their head they're already lazy. They scroll on social media too much. They're not doing anything with their life. So then they continue that cycle, and they continue and they procrastinate and they keep scrolling on social media, because to them, they've already labeled themselves. That label has hardened in their mind, and that's just who they are. Guys, you can't do that. You can't give yourself a label and then just live by that. If you right now are if you feel like you're really lazy, you're addicted, etc., don't live by that. Understand that this is a phase in your life, whether that's been many days, weeks, months, or years, but that is completely temporary and entirely fixable. When you wake up tomorrow, your dopamine will be completely reset. I want you to just not go on your phone for an hour. I want you to have a healthy breakfast. I want you to go to the gym. Just do it, and the first day will probably feel terrible, and your mind will probably tell you to go back to your old habits, which again is completely normal, right? Reverting back to old habits just means that you are trying to change a version of yourself that's probably been there for a while at this point. But just try it and tell yourself that this is just who you are, that this new version of yourself is who you've always been, and you are just throwing away the old version of yourself. Understand that the mistakes the old version of yourself made, learn from them, and then just adopt this new version of you. That's it. It's just a complete reset. So stop labeling yourself as a bad person. You're not lazy. Just forgive yourself. That's my message.